Look at me now.
Smoking on who, smoking on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, did that. I don't give a damn about the people, what you mean? Yeah, nigga, I said that. Aye, aye, aye.
Look at me now.
Smoking on who, smoking on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, did that. I don't give a damn about the people, good nigga, what you mean? I said that. Aye, I said that. Yeah, we really got chosen people. Yeah, we got 12 times, hood nigga, what you mean? Yeah, we really lethal. Aye, yeah, we really lethal. We don't give a damn about other people. What the hell you mean, little nigga? Yeah, I got 12, yeah, they're my people. They're my brothers, they're my sisters. Little nigga, yeah, from other mothers. I don't give a damn, little nigga, what you mean? Yeah, them still my brothers, still my brothers. Yes, I love them like a motherfucker. Speak on my brother like motherfucker. Hit him so hard, got hit by a trucker. Yeah, she look good, but I cannot fuck her. I don't give a damn, yeah, just double. Ain't gon' lie, man, I cannot trust her. This is out to be killing brothers. Aye, so smoke on who, smoking on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, dead. I don't give a damn about the people, little nigga, what you mean I said that? Aye, and I meant that. Yeah, we in hell, can't you tell? I don't give a damn about what you sell. If you get caught, you the first to tell. You tuck your tail. Why everybody wanna go to jail? Sitting with men in a fucking cell. Man, I'm just saying that's good to tell. Niggas be soft and motherfucking frail. You niggas be blind and niggas be braille. Ops right there and niggas can't tell. Slow so much, your brain is a snail. Kill a black man, don't nobody tell. Ain't nobody cry, dust shut the Lord, niggas got that eye. Read a real black watch, touch your brother, little nigga, man, I dare you try. You just might die. And I put this on your Howard Shy. Yes, he really in the fucking sky. Man, I can't wait till he crack the sky. Whole lot of UFOs in the sky. Man, these niggas gotta really die. Aye, so smoking on who? Smoking on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, did that. I don't give a damn about your people, little nigga, what you mean I said that? I say it again. All brown skin ain't your kin. And a white man ain't your friend. They the reason, man, we killing each other. They the reason why we hate each other. They the reason why we against each other. But the Bible say love your brother. And when you see him, little nigga, just hug him. I know we did you wrong, please forgive him. Cause in that day, you really gon' need him. Ayy, so smoking on who? Smoking on what? Yeah, nigga, yeah, did that. I don't give a damn about your people, little nigga, what you mean I said that? Ayy, ayy, ayy.
Look at me now.
Man, fuck. I gotta go to the studio, man. Got a lot of shit on my mind, been weighing on my chest. By the time I get this shit off, you hear me? UPK shit. At the funeral, we can move to sleep.
Wow.
But she can wake right up and talk to me.
Man, I miss my nigga, man.
Told my cousin, man, get out in the streets.
Told that nigga.
Keep on playing, you gon' be in the streets.
Nigga, I'm on time.
Burden on my heart, got burden on my heart. Stabbed in the back, best believe I got a scar. Can't trust my fam, man, them niggas low down. I don't give a damn. Oh, fuck America, nigga. They talking about land that free. Ain't shit free. Murder their slavery. Tell a nigga, can't you see? We got enemies, and it's a person be killing me. Telling the truth, young niggas not feeling me. And I saw the real man, you're not feeling me. Burden on my heart, got burden on my heart. Stabbed in the back, best believe I got in the sky. Can't trust my fam, man, them niggas low down. I don't give a damn. Oh, talk about never forget, but y'all niggas forget. 400 years, man, we went through that shit. Never got shit, rough as a bitch. Made it through that shit, never forget. And I'm just saying, fuck the white man. All he ever did was talk, good as a bitch. Damn, ain't gonna lie, I hate this place. Christ come back, man, the shit is a disgrace. Man, the shit wild, ain't gonna lie, I can't stay. Christ come back, oh Lord. Hey, say, man. We in the end times, you hear me? If you're not in the ISUPK and the Commander General, your honor, man, then you're not safe. And if you is not in the ISUPK and the Commander General, your honor, you is not in the truth, you hear me? All the other shit is other shit, man.
All them false doctrines.
And the Lord ain't fucking with it. So you best believe we ain't fucking with it, man.
Fuck yeah.
I mean, we in the end times, you hear me? You not safe if you're not in the ISUPK. And I'm gone.
Yeah.
All right, Shalom Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. On the Commander Junior Honor. Today is ISUPK's Austin's Lashawan Qadash class. We'll be breaking down the ancient Hebrew, the Lashawan Qadash, what we call it, which means holy tongue. You know, some people go by, biblical Hebrew or, Aramaic or Paleo Hebrew. Different names you call it, but it's all the exact same thing. Not only do we go over the ancient Hebrew, we do go over the Assyrian Hebrew, which is what you would say how they write it today. Although they probably pronounce it different, the words are still the characters they use are still the same. How we pronounce them, the right way, the correct way, right? So we're gonna get down into that today. For class, we might be going over a couple of things. There's always new people into the class, so it's always we go a lot of the basics, the fundamentals of the Hebrew language. That way, from that on, you can move up forward to everything else. So of course, every class we're gonna start off with, the Hebrew alphabet, right? We're gonna start off with the ancient first, because the ancient is the first one, and that's where you derive the meanings and the symbols for what they are, right? I'm gonna do about 3 on the board. We're gonna break it down real quick for everybody, see where they come from, right? So you have right? Ba, and God, right? So Ba, and God. Now, Adam received his language from the Most High God, and he became it by looking at the things around him, seeing certain things around him, right? Now, with that being said, these symbols look like certain things during Adam's time that he have seen, right? So right here, this comes from the word Allah. Why? Because this symbol is a cow, right? That's a cow. Allah is cow in Hebrew, right? He looked at Allah, you get ah from. Now, why Allah and cow is representing this? Because the definition of or what you say what it will mean power and authority, right? I'm gonna say ox, right? So equals, let me see if I can see it on the board. Equals power, right? Or authority. Why is this important, right? Matter of fact, we're just gonna have a whole class. We're gonna just break these little things down. So we're gonna, right? So that's the first character in the Hebrew alphabet, right? Is right? Which comes from Allah, which is ox or cow. That's what it's representing, is Allah, right? It represents a cow. Why is this symbol representing a cow? Of course, if I turn it this way, right? I get an ox, right? Boom, right? I draw his body and his feet. That's what I get, right? Sorry, it's a bad picture, but you understand it. Now, being that Adam's seen this, like, oh, this is ox sideways, his face is sideways. You want to look at these pictures as not like he's no Picasso, but like, like if you was drawing stick figures too, right? Now, he have this ox, right? And means power. Now, when I say this is the base language, is because of what? I could come up with new words. For example, words are derived from the meanings of these things. So now I got and one thing I wanted to show you that how Hebrew is, in fact, the language that everybody takes their language from, right? The Muslims, the Arabs, they take their language from here, right? Now, look at this. That's What that else look like? That looks like A. That's what A is, right? That's in the English alphabet. So where they getting it from? They getting it from us. Now, I'm gonna keep that on there so we can break down the ba real quick. So now we got ba, right? What is ba? right? Ba comes from a tent or a house, which is bayat. Bayat. That's what is represented, a tent or a house. Now, what would you think ba means from, okay, so for example, I want you to look at it this way. We got Allah, because he's seen a cow. A lot, right? We got ba, which is bayat, tent or house. So what would you think that ba means? Ba means a family, because your family, right? Family. Now, when I say means this, it's not like if I want to write, this is very important. If I want to write this down, like if I want to say family in Hebrew, it is not ba. Even though I'm saying it equals ba equals family. This character, when you use it a certain way, we're gonna go deep into it, but when you start putting them into words or Hebrew, they represent that. But the reason why I wrote this down here, I'm gonna show you a perfect example. In the ba, you see the tent and the foundation. That's what it is. There's a tent and a foundation, which today will be house, a tent where we dwell in. Family or house in, right? Family, house, or in, right? Now, so you got family, house, same synonyms, right? That category of words. So now we got and we got ba. You see how what's the first two letters of the English alphabet? A, B, right? A and B. They taking a whole flow. Now let me check this out, right? You got and ba. I'm gonna write that right here for y'all to see. So now we got and ba. What's a word joining these words together? You can have Abba. What is Abba? Abba means father. Why does that equals father? Why we get that from father? Because let's see. Well, Abba means power and authority, right? And Ba is family or house. So who is the power or authority of the house? The father is. Hebrew is a beautiful language. That's what it makes sense, right? Abba, which is father, he of the house, right? Now, quick thing, right? Do a man have more than one father? Right? So, but how would I want to say fathers? Meaning that like fathers as in a category. Usually when you see things with a tha, we have this character tha, right? T-H-A. But if you've been in the previous classes, we talked about endings, prefixes, suffixes, favorite things you can add. Like we talked about adding wa in the middle of a word, makes it, name. Adding wan at the end of a word makes it a noun, right? Now we're going to add tha at the end of the word, but not fully. It's going to connect to whatever is here. So we have ba. What does that mean? That the equals what? Category. It makes it a category. Like more than one. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. A category. You don't think of it like I have more than one fathers, but think of it as a category, right? Now, boom, that's off of two characters already. We got ba, right? Let's get some more. We're gonna go down into the next ones, right? Now we have ga and da, right? Ga and da, right? Ga and da, right? Ga comes from the word Salakia. Comes from the word gamal, right? Gamal, which is what? Camel, right? Camel. Right? Then you have what? Da, which is door. So the la equals door. So before ba, right, was this with that underneath, that was the foundation that represents the whole house, the tent, the family. But now we just have this, which represents the door. So if that represents door, what would that mean? That'd be the entrance, right? Entrance. Right? That's the entrance. That's what it means, da, which is entrance, right? Let's get another one. I think I can put up on here real quick. We're gonna go ha. We're gonna go in order. We're going in order. So we got ha, right? It's from hala. Looking at that, what would you think that will be? All right, y'all might not get it, but nah, which is behold, which is like this, like a man going like that. You look at your hand like behold, you know what I'm saying? Praying hands like you prophesying, you get what I'm saying? Things like that. So like, look at this, revealing this, because he's like, behold, things like that, right? Makes sense, completely makes sense, right? Simple. We're gonna rush through these real quick before we get into the lesson. I just want to go over this real quick because, what I'm saying, there's always new people inside the class, but so first we did Abba, God, Da, Ha. Now we got Wa, right? Wa, Za, and Ka, all right? Wa, Za, and Ka. What would be Wa? Wa is from Wa, which is a fish hook. Now you have Za, which is equals weapon. So what you see here, you start seeing that. Well, you start understanding people's names. You have Zion, right, which is weapon. Zion, right. Right here. So you got wa, right? And this is Ka. Looking at it, you can tell it's a fence, right? So it would be in fence, right? Be Kama, right? Kama. Now looking at this, you have the Ka right here, from right here. Now this Y, this is a Y connected to it. That's why you don't see the whole thing, right? And this is Ma, right? And you also have the Ha, which is not connected. So if I was to write this in Hebrew, right, it would be like this. Then I'll do the Wa, right? The Wa we just got talking about right here, right? And I also got a Ma. We didn't get into the Ma, go into later, right? We got the Ha, which I believe we did already too, right? Now, how would I connect these two? Well, I know Ka and Wa go together because I don't say the full Wa sound. So those are connected. The Ma and the Ha go together because I'm not having the whole Ha sound. Because if I did, it'd be Ma-Ha, but it's just Ma. So Cha-wa-ma, right? Cha-ma, right? If I was to say it, it's connected because if it wasn't connected, it'd be like Cha-wa-ma-ha, but it's connected. So I don't pronounce the full Wa. That's why I write it like this. You also write it like that the same way. And that's what these connectors are telling you. These connectors are letting you know that, hey, you're not going to pronounce this Wa fully. This Wa is connected to the Cha, right? Of course, if you've been in class already, you kind of know this. But again, always new people in class. You got to break everything down. You get this, you understand this. the Hebrew language is going to come very, very quickly, right? Remember, like I said, he's looking at things, becoming of these things, right? Now, I'm gonna try to hurry to go through these. All right, we started at Ka. We got Ta, Ya, and Ka. Ta, Ya, Ka. Right. So Ta, what is Ta? Salakia comes from Tana, right? Tana, which is what? Which is a basket. Oh, Salaki, I didn't even write that. I'm over here tripping. Y'all. My bad. Like Tana, which is basket. You got Ya, right? Everybody see Ya a lot. Where does Ya come from? Ya comes from Yad. When I'm saying that, it's like I'm what I mean is that when you see these things right here, this is what Adam is seeing when he's coming up with these characters. And that thing he's looking at, that word for that thing he's looking at became what? What I'm writing down here. So he's seeing the basket. When you ever see inside of a basket, you look down, this is what it looks like. So that character is Ta. This is how we represent about Ta, but the full word would be what? Tana, right? Which is basket. Same thing with Yad. Full word be Yad, which is hand, right? Now, we have Ka, there was not to be, Yad means hand. Salaki, let me write it a little bit higher. Yad means hand. Right? That's what Yad means. A brother in the school goes by the name Barak Yad, which is what? Barak means Barak before. If I say Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah. What am I? Bless. That's bless. So his name would be Barak Yad, which is blessed hands. Hebrew is very simple. When you get your own names, right? Good job. It's blessed, right? Simple stuff. Hebrew is not complicated, not like the oppressor's language we have to speak today, right? But I'm gonna erase this real quick and go to Ka because we got some important stuff to learn today rather than. Well, this is important too. I don't want to make it seem like it's not important, but this is just the foundation to connect words and actually be able to make sentences or actually make phrases, right? So we got Ka, which comes from Ka. So I got to write this in the thing. Ka comes from what? The palm. You see the palm of your hand? That's why it looks like that. He's looking at the palm of his hand and come up, okay, Ka, which goes on Ka, right? Palm, right? If I was to write this in Hebrew, it'd just be boom, this. I'll write a Pa. We never went to Pa yet, but I'm just giving it for y'all and it's connected, right? And again, if you always want to look stuff up, I recommend getting a two-letter Bible. Two-letter lookup to always help you out when you're doing your own studies. I'm gonna show y'all the site real quick. So if you ever want to look up a word, it's a lot if I can't see it, right? Two-letter lookup to always look up different things, right? Slovakia. All right. All right, real quick. Let me hurry up. We'll do this real quick. So we got Ta, Ya, and Ka, right? Ka. This like that's right, just like this, right? Because you're not saying Kapa, right? Because that is a pa, but it's connected. So that's how we write it, and that's how it's sounded out. So it's palm, right? Remember, you asking yourself, well, why is these different things? Why is this different things? How you say it? Like simple. Why is it your palm of your hand? Why is it a hand that he's making these things up with? Because if you seen that you in the time of Adam, and you got this, you making this language, you like, well, you're looking at things around you, you come up with these, how to draw these things out, right? It's simple. You're looking at the things around you. And these, if you don't think that's crazy, you gotta look at, well, if that's not intellectual, well, we just broke down this, which was what, right? Right? What was that? We just had. That's za. What's Z? What's Z in English? Z. It's the same thing. We just bring down the same thing. This is where you think everybody's getting the information from. Everybody want to, say, well, I don't, you neglect your culture and everybody else take your culture from you. They do their own thing with it. They make a spin-off and you neglecting it, man. They come up there and make Yiddish out your scriptures and out your tongue. And the white man and come over here and take your whole alphabet and make his own stuff with it. And when you see down, we got other stuff we're gonna go into. Like he get all his characters from your characters. But you saying, well, I'm African, I'm not a Hebrew. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not whatever, man. All right, let's go. We got we go ahead and go through this. We got La. Right? La. I keep writing like this. La, y'all. La. Ma, na, la, what you have, right? We got la. Oh, look at that. What is that? Look like an L. It's la, right? Where we get the L from? Come on, man. It's too easy. Too simple. But la means to learn. Learn. What is learn in Hebrew? Lamad. Lamad is to learn in Hebrew, right? Now the next one we have is water, which is ma, right? Water, which is what? Mayam. Now that same app, let's look up Moses, right? Let's look up Moses in the scriptures. It says, Exodus chapter 2, verse 10, and the child grew and she brought him unto Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son, and she called his name Moses, and she said, because I drew him out of the water. So what is Moses' name in Hebrew? We always read it during Sabbath service. You got the same book, Interline Accordance, the Bible Hub app, where we go read for Sabbath service, right? We always go read in Leviticus. It always says what? And Moses spoke, and Moses did this, and Moses did that. Now, how do we pronounce that in Hebrew? Right? It's Mashah. What is that? We just wrote down Ma. What does Ma mean? Ma means water. Mashah, right? Mashah. Now, that's Moses' name. Why? In the scriptures, you have different men named off of different things for a certain reason. Why should you go into if you go into Benjamin, let's look up Benjamin. I want y'all to look up Benjamin in the scriptures because we're gonna take a little break. We're gonna go back to this, but we're gonna break this down because this is important. Like I said before, how you come with names of getting names, right? So look up Benjamin. You want to see where I think it's believed in Genesis the 49th. Let's see, the 35th. We're gonna break it down this way. All right, so you have Benjamin, right? Benjamin. Night. Yam Yun. Now watch how this right here is how beautiful the Hebrew language is when you make a name. So they named him Ban Yamyan, which is what? When we say whatever your registry, you say Ban Yahweh, Ban whatever, Ban, Ban God, you know what I'm saying? Ban lawyer, whatever you say. Not Pathalia, Ban not Pathalia, Ban Zabalawan. What are you saying? You're saying you're the son of that man, the son of that tribe, which is what? So this is son. So I would be Ban Yamyan. Well, I wouldn't be, but Ban Yamyan somehow was from Benjamin, right? Which would be the what? The West Indies, right? Now, what does Yamyan mean? Have you ever been in Hebrew Academy? We have certain commands, being that we are also officers. We have commands, not only priests, but officers. We have commands. They will say, Yamyan Sar. What does Sar means? Turn. Yamyan means right. That's what Yamyan means. Right, like your right hand. So if I say my right hand be Yamyan, what will be right hand? Yamyan Yad. What we just read, right? We just wrote down my right hand. Now, if I want to say, check this out. So his name is son of the right hand. Well, what we just broke down, Yah meant. Yah was hand. You see how they get the Yah from here? The same way, the Yahs. And when you come in, now don't think too deep about it, but when you come in when you see a lot of names, well, you say, well, I don't see, this said his name means son of the right hand, but I don't see Ban Yamyan Yad. You don't have to do that you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that because you can take certain prefixes from words like Yad, you take the Yad and put it into something, and you can make it mean hand when you're creating names. This is for names, though, when you get names, right? Yamyan means just right. It just means right. That's it. Not right hand. Right hand would be what? Yamyan Yad, right? Or let's see. Or if you was to write it in Hebrew, let's see. We go to Genesis chapter 13, verse 9, right? Pull it up. Genesis chapter 13. Let's see. The parts. Let me see. Before you go, if you take the right, I will go left. Salagia. We're just trying to find the usage in the scriptures. Let's go to Genesis 24 and 49. See if that's a better one. 24 and 49. All right. The right hand, right? So they have Yah Mayan, right? Or Yam Yan, right? Right. So like this. So in Hebrew, right? Yam Yan, son of the right hand. We have Yad, which is hand. Yad is placed into him, so right hand, right? So in fact, if I wanted to say right hand, be Yam Yan, right? A lot of stuff is based on context when you in context. Let's see, right? Sometimes we want to find the root word, right? We go to Genesis 24:49. Salakia, we're gonna pull it up. Genesis 24:49, right? Salakia, good night. All right. So I use the Blue Letter Bible. Me personally, you can use whatever interlinear concordance you want. You see what the scriptures are using, right? So if I go right here, this root word, right? The root word they use for Yam Yan is Yam Yan is what? This. Yeah. That's the root word this uses, right? But you say, well, that looks different. That looks weird, right? That's what I was saying. You can make words off of certain things. So now we have right hand. The root word it uses is yaman, right? But we have yam yan, right? Now we added this, right? Now we could look up, if you have an interlinear concordance, you also could look up yan in the Hebrew, right? Or see if it's just, we're going to see. Let's see. All right. I usually, when I like to look up new words, right? We have what? Yan. Now, yan would just be a thing you add because of sometimes when you take yaman, and like I said, you make words out of that. So with right hand, it will be yam yan from yaman. Yan itself is not a not a word. Meaning what? So, let me see if I can find an example. All right, I'm gonna give you a quick example with prefixes, right? So if I was to say, this is the best way I can explain this without confusing anybody, right? So we're gonna erase this and basically look at it like this way, right? So if I have the word lakam, which is bread, right? Which is lakam, right? This equals bread. Now, if I was to do what? Say, well, I want to say my bread. How do you say my bread? I would add a what to the end of it? I would add a ya to the end of it. Let me erase this other stuff. I would add a ya, right? So what does that say? It's saying my bread. This is what the class was supposed to be on today. We was gonna break these down today, but I'm glad we into it now. But we have my bread now. When I want to look up, this is why it's important to know the root words, because if I want to look up, like we said, yaman was a root word for the right. That's what the word I have to look up. I can't look up this whole entire word because I'm not gonna find it. Why? When I say you're not gonna find it, you're not gonna find a definition of this word. But in the Hebrew, when you go into the scriptures, you're gonna find this word spelled like this because mine is the suffix, but the root word is lakam. So sometimes in the interlinear concordance, you're gonna have you press on it, it's gonna have this word and it's gonna say my bread, but you only can press on this word, lakam, which says bread, which means bread. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. A lot of things have different suffixes and prefixes you can add to it to make it different things, right? So it says, if I say my hand, if I want to say my hand, I would just say yad, yad, yad. Right? Yad, yad, which is my hand. My hand. Now, what I want, we just gonna go more from right there. We could go more. Might cover more to. Hopefully, I get back into. I might go back into them for the things, but since we're here, break this down like this. So we had yad yad, which is my hand, right? Right. Possession of mine. So you put anything at yah is mine this, mine that, right? Mine hand. Or you want to say, you even say Malak Yah, my king. That's my king. Christ is my king. What's king? Malak. Now this is just, ain't nothing. But there's a group of us, Malak, Nawa. Malak Nawa is what? Our, right? This is what? My, our. So Malak Nawa, our king, right? Difference for possession. So if I'm saying our, that means it's a group of us. Our king, Black, Hispanic, Native Americans, right? Our king of Malak Nawa is Yahawashi Mashiach. Right? Different thing. Now you start saying different things. You can start saying it as phrases, right? So if I want to say, what I would want to say? Yeah, same applies for now. I'm gonna write this down for you, so y'all can write it down real quick. All right. These are all for possession. So, like, if I say this, right? I have my, your, or you or your, right? Right? You or your. I have he or his. He or his. Right? He or his. I got her. Or like hers, right? Remember, this is possessive, right? Their, right? Masculine, and their feminine. So now what would these be? These are all suffixes at the end of a word, right? So Yah, mine will be Yah at the end of a word. You or your will be what? Ka. He or his will be Wa. Her would be Ha. Their masculine will be Ma. And their feminine will be Na. So these things you can all put onto that word we use. Any word, really, not any word, but any word that makes sense. Usually a noun, because you're saying that noun belongs to you. Person, place, a thing. That king belongs to me. That's his king. Joe Biden, that's their king. So you say Malak Ma, their king. Joe Biden, that's Malak Ma. Right? Or if I'm talking to a group of women, I say America, a group of women, Malak Na. This is disrespectful if I want to say it like that, because I'm talking, you know what I'm saying? But her husband or her father is Abaha, right? His father, Abawa, your father, Abaka, my father, Abaya. Remember, also you can put the thigh at the end, which is make it a category. Abath. This is what really Hebrew is. And this is how we talk. When we pray and everything, why we can say a whole bunch of things in one word, because all these prefixes and suffixes. Now, these are suffixes right here. Hour. I didn't write hour because we did hour already. Was not now, but you have y'all. You know, y'all is not. They say it's not a real word, right? So you got y'all, feminine, same thing, and masculine. I should have put it backwards. Let me see. Masculine and feminine. Masculine would be what? Calm and con. You see, like, usually see this ma at the end, right? And see the ma at the end? Damn right. It says Most High Christ. It says ma, calm, right? Now look at this. A lot of people get this mistake. When we say the prayer, we say Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Baraka, thumb to multiple brothers. A thumb, right, to multiple brothers, right? But usually a lot of people mess up when they do the blessing or the salute to the sisters. Say Yahweh Shema A'atan. Al-Atan by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, because Atan is feminine plural. Right? Adam is masculine plural. Right? So now those are the suffixes. We also have prefixes as well. I'm gonna let that on the board real quick. But we also have prefixes as well we could use. For example, break this down right here. We could break this down. We have Yashar Allah. Yashar. I'm gonna raise this from the bottom. Raise this up here. I know it's live, but you can rewatch the class and screenshot it. All right, so we got Yashar Allah. Again, I'm just using all words people already know, right? Yasha Allah. Right? Now, what does Yah in the prefix mean? Yah and prefix, not suffix. Prefix. He. That's what it is. He. Right? That's in prefix. Don't get it mistaken with suffix. It's a whole different thing. This Yah at the end of this would be a whole different thing it's saying. But he at the Yah. So now you got Shar. What does Shar mean? What does Shar mean? You look up Shar in the two-letter look up Shar. You look it up by doing what? They have it in Assyrian, right? So when you look up, so you gotta know the Assyrian alphabet. So they would have it like this. I would just use this, boom, because that's a Shah. I would use a Ra. What is a Ra in the Assyrian? That, right? You type in that and give you Shar. What's the definition of Shar? What pops up when you put Shar? This is going to pop up. Prince. Okay. So we're about to break down the word Israel. So this is, for example, for those who don't know, Yasha Allah do mean Israel. All right. Suffix do means the end of a word. Prefix is the beginning of the word. When we say prefix, so suffix is usually for possession. It's always for possession, right? Now the prefixes are a little different. The prefixes are like connectors. Prefixes are like connectors, like for the and you know what I'm saying? Ands and ends and the, do, I, as or like, to or for, connectors. Like who are you talking to? Is for him. We're gonna write it all down by the end of the class. Got about 15 more minutes left. Slug, but like 10 more minutes left. We're gonna break that down. Allah is power. Correct. Allah is power. So what it is saying? He is Prince of the Power. That's what his name. Who was this name from? This name was from Jacob, right? Jacob's name was changed to Israel or Yasha'Allah. Jacob being what? Name was, anybody know Jacob's name was when it was Jacob before it got changed to Israel? What was Jacob's name? If anybody knows. The Christian church, the Christian church always wanted to say like this is because he was, I'm not going to give it to y'all. Jacob, I'm going to give y'all a quick second thing what Jacob's name was. If you don't know Jacob's name either, you can just look it up in the Blue Letter Bible. Go to Jacob and see what it say. What is his name, right? His name is Yaquab. That's what Jacob's name is. Jacob's name was Yaquab. Right? Now, with that being said, see that I right there? I don't know if y'all see it. Erase Yaquab. Yaquab, right? All right. So Yaquab means supplanter, which is like the Christian church will make it seem like I'm gonna tell you how much the devil of the Christian church is, right? How is the house of Satan? Because when you talk about Jacob, Jacob is our forefather. We say Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? They want to say that Jacob was the wrong one with Esau. Now we all know who Esau is. Esau, which is Adam, right? When it's not Adam, we're gonna get Esau. Now let me finish this real quick. Esau, right? Which is Adawam. Adawam is what Esau is. Edom is Adawam. Adam is Adam. Don't get it mistaken. Adam is Adam. Right? They, name meaning red, literally means red, right? Adawam, right? They say that Jacob was the wrong one. Jacob was wrong for doing what he did, right? Because he tricked his brother out of his birthright. And this is how important you gotta understand the story is. First, you know that what? Jacob only did what his mother told him to do. And you know it was no sin because his mother did not get punished for telling him to do that. But this is a trick you got to understand. This is how the spirit of Esau is. Esau promised Jacob his birthright because he wanted a morsel of meat. This prized possession thing he had, he was willing to sell it for a morsel of meat, right? Sell me your birthright. He did it because he was hungry, right? Now people are like, well, why he did that? Well, you know, his brother, it was his brother. You know, it was his brother. He should never did that. First, you got to understand, they said two different nations are in that womb, right? And if you love something so much, you're not going to sell it out for some food, man. For at least for Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're not going to do that, right? We're going to die behind it. That's the spirit of the Lord, dying behind your belief. And he should have died behind not selling his birthright, right? But he sold it. Now he promised he's going to sell it to him. Then it comes a day where his father trying to give him the birthright. And this damn devil that he is promises man something and still trying to go get it claimed from his father. When he should be like, nah, Salakia, father. Salakia, Abba. This birthright, I sold it unto Yaquab. But Yaquab, he was smooth with it. He wanted to go do what he got to do to get what was rightfully his. Adawan and Adawam, we're going to get into. All of them come from root words. Adawan is Lord. Adawam, we're going to get it right now. All right? So, like I said, boom. We're going to look it up. Of course, Prince of the Power, we know Allah. That's why, and Allah is not, we use it for a lot of suffixes or adding into other things. The Lord name is not Allah, it's Yahweh. You know what I'm saying? But this shows you how. This shows you also that what happens. That Muhammad was around some of the Hebrews. We ever read the book from Here to Timbuktu? It tells you about how Muhammad made his new religion. He constructed it mostly of the Jews. Of course, we know that. But these goddamn Muslims walk around here and say, for Allah, their God don't have no name because their God don't exist. They call their God named Allah because they heard him explain like something like this, like Alla. They got Allah, right? Which they just saying power. The guy ain't got no name because the God don't exist. And Allah really is a rock. That's all Allah is. A rock done fell down and they seen it and they called that rock Allah. And of course, it goes on from there, but I'm not going to get too much into that history. So it's different lords. When you're looking up Lord in the scriptures, so we say Lord, right? When you're looking up Lord in the scriptures, don't press on the ones that say, you don't want to press on the ones that got capitalized, right? Because if it's capitalized, what does that mean? That means it is the Lord's name, right? So it would say, instead of saying that, it would say what? It would say Yahweh, right? So Adawan, right? It comes from the word. It's the same thing. Adawan comes from the word Adawan, right? Which is what we say is as Lord, master, firm, and strong, right? Now, we're going to look up the word Esau, right? So just because they got two different ends of the word don't really necessarily mean they could be similar. Because Adawan is a root word itself. How do I know that? Because you can look it up, and if it wasn't a root word, it will give you the root word of that word, right? But for the most part, Adawan is a root word, means the whole world entitled, right? So now let's get Edom, right? Edom is, of course, Adawan. Salagi. Let me see. Esau. Let me get Esau. We're going to get Esau. I like that one better. Let's see. Esau. I'm not mistaken. All right. All right. Now, they both come from this word, right? So you got this come from this word. They are Adawam comes from this word Adam, which means which means red, right? So Adawam, right? It's red. Right? That's what his name means. Red. Now, right? Don't get it mistaken for Adawan, which means Lord, right? Power, right? What else I want to do? Like I said, Adawan is Lord. But is Lord in the scriptures not capital? If you look up Lord, capital is going to say Yahweh, because that's the Lord's name. Of course, when you see God in the scriptures, it's not going to say the Lord's name. God is power, depending on what type of power it is. In Genesis, the first chapter, the Genesis, the power it says, and God made the heavens and earth. That power is Allahayim. 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 Yum. What does yum mean? Another suffix. Yum. Yum as a suffix. Right? Yum makes things plural. Right? That makes things plural, having that yum on there, right? At the end of a word. Different things, you might use different things for different words, different suffixes for different words. I'm saying Hebrews are not really many, very no, hour is, remember, the hour at the end of the word is now, right? But yum at the end of my head. Let me see if I can get one of these prayers to show you an example of yum. Salaki. The prayer is always a good one. I like to go Oh, I should do the. You know what I should do? The right here. Okay, so we say that's what it was. Salagi, it's on my tongue. We have exactly Salakia. I'm sorry. Sorry, Salak. That's an excellent catch right there. Exactly. And that's good that people know what they're saying. Right? No. But we say Ak is brother. That's how I was saying. You're gonna be like, I had a brain fart. But Ak is brother. But if I want to say brothers, what we say? Hey, Ak Yum. Because it's plural. Akwat is sisters. I mean sister. Akwat. Hey, shalom, Akwat. Shalom, sis. Peace be to sis, right? Now, that's what shalom means, peace, right? Now, with that being said, what is sisters? And we're gonna leave the comments on that. If Akyom is brothers and Akwat is sister, what is sisters? If somebody can put in the chat, we're gonna end the class off with that if you get the right answer. Nope, it's not Akwat. Remember what we said in the beginning class about suffix? Remember we said the suffix for women, right? Men had the M, but what did the women have? You close. It is Akwat, but what is the plural for women? That's men. It's masculine, but it's something I'm missing right here that's plural, feminine. What is it? What is it? Yan. That is correct. That is correct. So, Ak, Wath, Yun is sisters, right? Just like we say a thumb, right? Bless you all men. We say a thun for bless you all women. So now when we say sisters is Akwath, we say Akwathyun, because that's feminine plural. For men, we say we say Akyum. Because Ak is brothers, right? Brother. No, damn right. You got it. You right on it. And with that, you can put any questions. I'm gonna give you a quick second. Put any other questions you got in the chat. But we're gonna leave off with that. Did an excellent job. And like I said, practice makes you better. Of course, most of the time I'm learning a new language. Unlike scripture, unlike history, learning a language is takes a lot of dedication, because not only do you got to remember certain, prefix and suffix, but you got to remember, the vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? Watch when you see people come from out the country, people like from Portugal, right? Brazil, whatever, they speak Portuguese. They could talk, they transition from speaking English, and they can't say full things because they don't have that vocabulary yet, even though they're trying to half know what to say, right? No, damn right. And with that, we're gonna give a salute out to the brothers, right? Well, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Baraka Thumb. We're gonna give a salute to the sisters. Yahweh Shema Thun Ba'Hashem Yahushua. All right.